It's interesting because talking about one of the things that going back to this whole uh, possible cracks in MAGA, one of the main complaints when you hear someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene talk about it is what happened to America first? Trump's abandoned. Right? He's spending all this time going to Asia. He's focusing on foreign policy. He's not paying attention to Americans that are in trouble. He's sending $40 billion to Argentina, all this stuff. And so I'd love to get your thoughts on the whole visit he just had with the Saudi crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, who obviously was infamous for allegedly, and the CIA under Trump backed this up, cutting up a journalist, Khashoggi, and trying to cover it up. And Trump's response was, well, things happen. And what was amazing, I watched a little bit and I thought MBS was actually more contrite about it than Trump was, which is
Well, he's had
very,
to live with it a lot longer.
what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on this? Because I think that my main issue is that, and you can debate this, but it seems like a lot of Trump's foreign policy is it's not which leader is democratic or autocratic, but which leader is strong and which leader is weak. And because of that, we don't typically every president since Truman, really since the Second World War, we've always stood up for our values, for human rights, things like that. It doesn't seem as if we're doing that as much anymore. So, what do you think about the whole thing, Ashley?
Well, I'm a security hawk, so I listen, I think that we have to bring Saudi into our friend group. I mean, and I get it. I was there on 9/11. I know all the stories about us flying the plane back for all the Saudis, after the World Trade Center incident. I know about the reporter, but they are the biggest influence in that region. And if we are going to have any strength against China and Russia, they need to be in our fold. I don't know, and I'm actually surprised there wasn't an Abraham Accord announcement of them coming into the fold there. I thought that was going to be kind of the big announcement. But us being friends with, like, we can't be enemies with Saudi. I mean, it's just not going to be a good thing for us national security wise, economic wise. And so I also think I'm gonna stick up for Obama here. I think Obama, when he was going back to what you said about healthcare, he had a very limited time to get what he believed was a major policy issue that would save the country in regards to how he believed healthcare should work, whether we agree with it or not. So he used that first 12 months, 18 months of his administration before a potential house flipping to get his policy through. You have that very limited amount of time. I would actually say that I think Trump does think that I think there is a grocery problem. I think that there is still a problem with US feeling like they're financially secure. But I think he's trying to deal with these big issues, not because he doesn't love the country, not because he doesn't think it's for national security reasons that he's cutting all these deals. But I don't, it still goes back to people that are voting. I don't know if people in West Virginia or people in Utah care about Saudi Arabia. I understand it. I very
Yeah.
much understand it. I just don't know if they understand it because they're still worrying about how much the groceries cost.
I think it's more an optics issue. The president the other day, speaks at this McDonald's summit, right? Trying to get everyone to focus on the economy and affordability for a second and to tout all the things he's done that's so great to help the economy. And then the very next day, he's palling around with MBS. And I just think just from a visual aid standpoint, all we hear are Republicans saying we want the president to get back on the road, do rallies here in America, start hitting the economic message every day. And what does he do? How does he respond to that pressure? He has dinner for a bunch of billionaire businessmen. He, is at the Kennedy Center with this, huge Saudi investment, economic forum going on. And anytime we see footage of the president, he's calling a reporter, piggy. He's being disrespectful and sexist to another reporter who asks him about Epstein. He's, just looking and sounding completely off his rocker, and unstable. And I just think that there are a lot of Americans who are looking around and just thinking to themselves, I don't understand why he can't just do his job. And what happened to all the promises of, as Dave called it, America first. That is, uh, you know, if Marjorie Taylor Greene isn't MAGA enough for MAGA, like they've gone just full tilt so far. It's like I said, a couple years ago, if someone with the last name Cheney isn't conservative enough for you, like the conservatism is dead in America. That's crazy talk. Um, and I think Trump is just running all of these, linchpins of what has propped him up over the years just into the ground. And he's creating a situation like we talked about at the top of the show, where Republicans are going to have to start running away from Trump as fast as they can if they hope to electorally survive.
And, I would say and we can debate whether this is truly an attempted authoritarian takeover, but putting that aside, the one thing when leaders have succeeded, you look at Turkey, you look at Orban in Hungary, the economy was good. Because if the economy is good, it distracts people from other stuff that you're doing. And just like if the economy is bad, you can be doing a whole bunch of other things well. And as we talked about on the last show, Trump is falling into this Bidenomics trap where he's saying, don't believe your wallet, believe me. Prices are lower, they'll go lower still. And I have to say, just the beautiful irony of hearing for so long about how no, overall tariffs will lower prices. And then he repeals the tariffs on food to guess what? To lower prices.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's and again, I think for Donald Trump here, I know, I get this. I think Ashley's right. We need to have strategic aligned interests, with Saudi Arabia for a number of reasons. I get that part, but you can also do that while not just completely whitewashing, the murder of a journalist and making
Come
light
on,
of it.
Kurt, our country does that, like, daily to other countries. I mean, like, come on, like, let's not be naive here.
I'm not being naive. I'm being
Yeah,
hypocritical.
you
There's a
are being naive.
difference. No, I'm
Okay, that's
not.
fine. I mean,
Like
we
I
do
know.
this is what we do all the time. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
like,
difference
the
is
problem
though
was they
the
got caught.
yeah, it's like the difference is like there isn't like a well documented report about how we took a bone saw to another journalist in another country, like, and then hosted the person who ordered that in our own Oval Office. Like that's the difference. This president just glibly going, oh well, things happen, and we didn't really like that guy, so okay, like like what does it mean to be an American citizen if that can
Listen,
happen to you?
I
I
get
think
it,
what
but I
struck a
also
raw
think that
nerve, let me just say, I
go
think
ahead.
what struck a raw nerve, and this is similar to Putin when they had the summit, the Alaskan summit in August, is that a lot of these people were considered pariahs to a lot of the world. And having the United States bring you back into their fold is a way of ending that period of being ostracized. Now, I do agree that I think MBS, I don't think he's even 40 years old. He's very young. He's
I
going to
think
be
it's
around
40.
forever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Saudi is a very important. They are now the center of the Middle East. It's the
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia and the UAE. It's no longer other countries like Israel. And so I think we do have to be with them, and we do have to have a good relationship. But you can still have a good relationship while being firm and sticking up for your values.
But
And
how many
that's
more times does our country need to say that it's wrong to kill our I mean, like, what else do we do? It's been 10 years. Like, do we still
No, I
continue to live
agree,
in
but I'm
that?
just saying there's a difference between standing up for your values and having a good relationship and acquiescing, which is what he's done. And the same thing, it went back to Helsinki. Remember, well, Putin told me that he wasn't the one, so
But
irrespective of
how
how
embarrassing was it when Joe Biden fist bumped him afterwards? Like,
oh,
that to me is an
stupid.
embarrassment for our country.
I agree. Biden totally blew it, and we paid the price when they not only wouldn't increase oil production, but they cut oil production at the worst time, which is a slap in our face. So